How I find viral Etsy trends for easy cash. Let's go. Hey guys, Angie here, and I am super pumped for today's video because I'm going to dispel a couple myths, a couple misconceptions that people come to when they hear the word low competition on Etsy and when they hear the word trend. I'm also going to show you how I can take a long-term trending item or high search volume keyword and tap into that trend where there's tons of competition and actually narrow it down to a small gap in the marketplace that we can jump into. Now, when it comes to selling on Etsy, there is definitely a process, right? Very simple steps that when done correctly can lead to incredible results over an extended period of time. Now, if you're just getting started learning, it may feel more challenging to understand those steps and what is actually working, but once you do, it is very simple, duplicatable, and you can do this across many niches, including print on demand. So before we get into today's research, let's go ahead and talk about these two misconceptions that people have when they hear the word trend and when they hear doing low competition research. When people think of trend, they think of something that is trending for a short period of time and then it's going to die and not be cool anymore. However, that is not the case. Trends can also be long-lived. It can be something that people are constantly searching for and in high volume. And that is the example that I'm going to share with you today. If you didn't watch my other video that I put out last week on 2 viral trends for easy cash in 2023, I'm going to link that down below in the description for you so you have a little more context. And then when it comes to doing a low competition research, people often think that that means that they can't jump into more competitive niches or keywords and that they only have to find things that really have almost no competition at all, and that is not correct. You can absolutely jump into competitive niches and even use those more competitive keywords to get traffic to your store. However, as a new store, what I like to do is at the beginning of my titles, put a low competition keyword. More competitive ones can go towards the back of your title, and then as your store grows and the quality score becomes better, then yes, your listings can tap into those more competitive keywords, and also you can pull tons and tons of traffic from Google as well, because the head of Etsy SEO is actually over there working on Google, helping to optimize everything for the Google search. So today we're going to look at how we can actually tap into a viral trend that is constantly having tons of search volume, but use those lower competition keywords so that we can find some pockets to get found as a newer store. So to do this, we're going to be using my favorite research tool called Sales Samurai, and I always link a free trial for you guys down in the description so that you can test this out for yourself and see how it goes. And as always, I never guarantee anyone's income, right? Etsy has lots and lots of variables, and it does have a slight learning curve, but the good news is that you can learn it, and it can be very, very simple, and your results are going to depend upon how well you do each and every single one of those variables involved in an excellent Etsy listing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and unpack these trends. Okay guys, so I am over on Google Trends and I have typed in monogram, and the reason that I'm typing this in is because I actually got targeted by a Facebook ad from a boutique that was absolutely crushing it with those large monogram sweatshirts. And so I came over to Google and check out like how this is trending. And so we can see over the past 12 months, it's been very consistent. And of course, because it is Christmas, it does peak around this time. However, if we go back even just the past 5 years, we can see that this has been a very, very consistent trend, right? It continues to sell all year long, even though it does peak during the holiday months. So now what I'm going to do is go into Sales Samurai and dig further deeper into this trend. So I did a quick search on Etsy to see which items are performing the best and I realized that monogram or just tumblers in general are doing very, very well, and monogram tumblers on average are making sellers on Etsy about 268 sales a month, and the top listing on Etsy for this is actually doing somewhere around $50,000 a month estimated revenue. And so we're going to go ahead and dig deeper into this and see how we can jump into this trend, right? Because the word monogram gets something like 243,000 searches a month on Google. So we can use that as a tag and as a part of our title in order to pull from that massive amounts of traffic. Now, monogram Tumblr itself on Etsy is a medium competition keyword. However, there are going to be pockets, longer tail keywords with additional words or phrases that we can add in here that are going to be low competition that we can jump into this trend. So we can scroll down to the bottom and then see the top listing on Etsy for monogram tumblers. And as you can see, this listing has gotten 551,000 views. So let's pull this up on Etsy by clicking right here. And so what I'm going to do right now is just take their title, copy it, and put it on a notepad. And then we're going to see how we can add to this, alter it, maybe subtract some things in order to be able to jump right in to this trend as a smaller store and compete with this store that has 214,000 sales. So I copied that, and here's something cool to note. This particular listing was selected by Etsy's style and trend editors. So that is telling you that this is on trend right now, and that's a really great sign. So I'm over on my Google document now, and I just pasted the title in there, and I'm just going to sort of analyze all of these keywords and maybe find some better, more suitable ones inside of Sales Samurai that can help a new store get found for this particular search. We already searched for monogram Tumblr, and that had 22,500 as a competition. So let's just go through all of these. Okay, so personalized Tumblr has an Etsy competition of 50,000, so that's one of the more competitive keywords, so I will put that at the end of my title. So as you can see, this store has that at the beginning of their title, so I'm just going to copy that and I'm going to put it after that one, and we're going to put a note next to it that the competition is 50,000. And then we have insulated Tumblr, which is also a high competition keyword. And then we have engraved cup, which is medium competition with 32,000. And the yellow means medium, the green means low, and red means high competition. Now I have all of these keywords from the title ranked from lowest competition to highest. And what I'm going to do now is, since we're a new store, I want to find some additional low competition keywords to put in the front. So now what I'm going to do is use the Chrome extension, and we're going to go over to Etsy and see which keywords we can find to fit the bill. Okay, so we are over on Etsy and we have typed in monogram Tumblr at the top here, and you can see that this comes up right here, and this will only come up, this 500 more, this blue highlight number, if you have this installed, right? If you have Sales Samurai Chrome extension installed. So we're going to click on this and it's going to bring up some more keyword suggestions. Okay, so this pulled up some more keyword suggestions for monogram Tumblr, and you can sort this now by competition by double clicking on competition, and then you can scroll down until you see some that have a decent amount of search volume, over 25 or so, and then you can see all the competition on the right hand side here. So let's take a look and see what relevant keywords that we can find with low competition and a decent search volume. So here's one, fall monogram Tumblr. This gets 50 searches a month, and it is a very low competition with only 597 other listings on Etsy. Then we have 2-letter monogram wine tumbler, which looks like a great one to me. That gets 223 searches a month on Etsy, and there's only 615 listings. So that's definitely something that I would make note of. And here's another one, champagne tumbler monogram, and this one gets 19 searches a month, and it has a competition of 1,100. And then we have monogram tumbler leopard. So that one gets 23 searches a month and has about 1,500 competition. Okay, so I'm back over on my Google document, and I am just listing out all of the keywords that I found in order. So now obviously this is saying a wine tumbler, so I would be thinking one of those smaller wine tumblers, and we found the 2-letter monogram, so I would then just put the 2 letters on it. We could also use champagne and target this maybe towards a wedding party. And then I would just go ahead and delete some of these that aren't as relevant, like with the straw, I would delete that. And then all I would do is make sure that I have 140 characters for my title, and then I would just list them all out, and I'll do that for you right now. So then I would just do something like this, put the commas in between. You know, there are some stores on Etsy that do the pipe or a little circle right there. Some stores even do no breaks at all between their keywords. This is personally how I do it. I have some listings that have done almost $70,000 now, and this is exactly how I do it. So hopefully you can see now how you can jump into a super competitive trend and dominate this even as a new store. And as you can see, this is actually medium competition on Google. So to me, this is a really, really great sign, and I'm excited by this trend. So from here, you just have to make sure that you get every single other element of your listing on point. And by that, I mean your photos, your description, you have everything that you can be filled out in your store, filled out, including your FAQs. Make sure your return policies are on point. So when customers actually see your listing for the first time on Etsy, because it's going to get a bit of a boost when it's first listed, you want to make sure that this converts, right? And if it converts, then you're going to get a good quality score, and eventually you can tap into these really more competitive keywords as well with that listing. So I hope you're super excited about this, and to me, this tool, Sales Samurai, has been essential and helping me to find these pockets on Etsy where I can still capitalize on these trends. Okay, so I hope that you now better understand that trend actually means relevant and not short-lived, and that you also understand that competition is a good thing. That means something is in high demand, and that now that you can find pockets where you can tap into that trend with low competition keywords without discarding the high competition ones. And I feel like this video was super important because people often perceive things incorrectly when they hear them because they're not actually taking in the full picture of everything. They literally think that they cannot jump into high competition keywords, when really what you need to understand is there's low competition keywords and high competition keywords that make up a listing, and yes, all of them can bring traffic to your store. So let me know what your favorite takeaway was from today's video, and if you haven't yet, be sure to sign up for my 7-day free Etsy bootcamp. All of that will be linked down below in the description, so you can get started with your very own print-on-demand Etsy store. And I'm also going to link for you my full Etsy playlist here on YouTube so that you can watch more videos, absorb the information, and decide if this is for you, and potentially even get your store started right here with all of the free information available. So make it an amazing day, and I will see you in the next video.